Hey everyone, and welcome to Rebel City Roundup. I'll be giving you my take on the primary news and happenings in and around Cork this past week. There is a lot to talk about in this video. Of course, we need to talk about Storm Hannah and how we really got lucky with only a glancing blow hitting Cork. Then there's the issue of pay for members of the Irish Defence Forces, and we need to talk about how Cork County Council is shitting all over the volunteers at Fort Camden. Finally, I can't help it, I need to weigh in on Samsung's current issues with their Galaxy Fold. So, without further ado, let's get started. Storm Hannah delivered a glancing blow to Cork on Friday night. A total of 33,000 households were left without power during the storm in Cork, Kerry, Clare, Limerick and Tipperary of all places, being the worst affected. ESB repair crews were out as soon as possible on Saturday morning, patching up lines and re-establishing service. And maximum winds were around 123 kilometers at Mace Head in Galway and 109 kilometers at Shannon Airport, with an unofficial weather station at Money Point registering a gust of 149 kilometers an hour. That's hurricane strength. Given the wind speeds registered and the amount of fallen trees and debris, we should count ourselves lucky that no one was injured. Naturally, a few boneheads are complaining that the warnings were overblown and that some smart asses are trying to be overly funny about it. Personally, I've had it with this type of intentional ignorance. It's better to take a bit more care and put out warnings ahead of time in order to avoid injury or even fatalities. I mean, when you look at the wind speeds, we should not kid ourselves. We were very, very lucky that no one was injured or killed. What was your experience during the storm? Did you suffer power outages? Be sure to put it in the comment section below. A rally will be held in Cork next Saturday to call for better pay and conditions for members of the Irish Defence Forces. The rally is organized by an association of veterans of the Irish Defence Forces and is set to coincide with the commissioning of the L.E. George Bernard Shaw, the fourth and final Beckett-class offshore patrol vessel for the Irish Navy in Waterford. Many sailors, soldiers and airmen cannot afford accommodation near their bases, a situation particularly bad at Hull Naval Base, given the spiraling rents here in the Cork metro area. In some situations, crew members on shore leave had to sleep on their vessels despite being on leave because they couldn't afford to either rent a place or even to travel home. As a result, the Defence Forces have been hemorrhaging staff at an alarming rate. At present, 2 of the 9 ships of the Irish Navy are laid up at Hull Island Naval Base, because there are simply not enough sailors to man them. And keeping the remaining 7 operational requires cutting some significant corners. I understand that, especially as a recruit, you're not going to get rich in any military. But why is the Ministry of Defence unwilling to address these issues and pay a salary that is above the minimum wage? Other militaries have dedicated housing areas for the dependents of their soldiers. Why isn't Ireland following that example? I mean, I know that most Irish don't give a flying fuck about the Defence Forces, it's just the way it is, and that any investment in that area will be extremely unpopular. But I mean, this government isn't winning any popularity records as is, so why not take the plunge? What's your view on the whole situation? Are you currently a member of the Defence Forces? Do you have friends or family who are serving? Be sure to put it in the comment section below. While we're talking about the military, Fort Camden, at the entrance of Cork Harbour, has recently become embroiled in a major row at Cork County Council. Fort Camden is an artillery fort at the entrance of Cork Harbour that has in recent years seen some painstaking restoration work done by a corps of really dedicated volunteers. It was built together with Fort Westmoreland on Spike Island and Fort Davis on the other side of the harbour entrance to secure Cork Harbour against hostile warships. Fort Westmoreland has seen significant investment in recent years to turn it into a major tourist destination, while Fort Davis remains in use by the Irish Defence Forces. Last year, Councillors representing the local area around the fort were told that a master plan for the development of the fort was being drawn up by Cork County Council and should be ready within a couple of months. However, on Friday, when asked about the state of the plan, local councillors were told that Cork County Council didn't know. Apparently, no one in County Hall has been able to track down this master plan, which apparently cost over 100,000 euros to draw up. Leaving the volunteers at Fort Camden hanging like that is a slap in the face. And Cork County Council should be ashamed of their behavior as far as I'm concerned. Then again, civil servants and state employees here in Ireland have previously demonstrated to be completely shameless, so I'm not holding out much hope. What's your view on the whole situation? Do you have any information? Are you involved with the fort? Be sure to put it in the comment section below. I am not a Samsung fan, particularly not a fan of their smartphones. Even before my Apple days, I just couldn't find anything attractive or redeeming about their devices. It's not that they're bad devices, far from it. But in my eyes, they are just so bland and nondescript. As I said, no redeeming features. That being said, when Samsung announced the Galaxy Fold earlier this year, I was really excited. Despite its nauseating price tag, this device had the potential to get me back into the Android Fold, no pun intended. However, given the price tag, I knew it wouldn't be anytime soon. Well, it turns out waiting was a good choice. In case you haven't heard yet, the first wave of review devices have turned into a major headache for Samsung. The hinge mechanism, at the core of the entire device, a folding smartphone after all, has allowed debris to enter the device and damage the display, while other reviewers reported a permanent crease in the display itself right above the hinge. Yet other reviewers removed what looked to be a screen protector, only to find that it was actually a part of the display and effectively wrecked their device in the process. As a result, Samsung has recalled all review devices and has decided to postpone the launch to a later date. Naturally, there is now a whole lot of derision, ridicule, and disdain being poured out over Samsung. But for once, I have to stand up for Samsung here. This isn't some pure carelessness like their Note 7 debacle a few years back. The Galaxy Fold is a completely new concept. And what's more, it's a first-generation device. Troubles are to be expected with such a first-generation device. I'm speaking from experience here, being an Apple Watch user. This is all the more true since foldable displays are right at the leading edge of what our technology can do at the moment. Folding smartphones are the first real revolution in the smartphone sector since the original iPhone. And once the kinks are worked out, this new type of device could really be a game changer. One thing's for sure though, the current issues have made life a whole lot more difficult for Samsung. And with Huawei right on their heels with the Mate X, we should be seeing a price war in that field much earlier than either company would like. What's your take on the whole Fold fiasco? Are you excited by the device, looking forward to it? Or is it just another fad in your eyes? Be sure to put your opinion in the comment section below. And that's the way it is this week. Thank you very much for watching. Of course, you can find links to all stories in the video description. If you enjoyed this roundup or found it informative, please do hit that thumbs up button. Every like and every interaction in general is a huge help for a small channel like mine. If you don't want to miss any more of my videos, be sure to hit the subscribe button and also the little notification bell. Finally, if you have any feedback, topic suggestions, questions, anything of that nature, be sure to leave it in the comment section below. Once again, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys and girls next week.